Hey Road Trippin' fam, we are excited to let you know that Road Trippin' is proud to be presented by FanDuel. Never played NBA Daily Fantasy on FanDuel before? Well, check this out. Right now, FanDuel is offering up to a $500 bonus instantly when you make your first deposit with a 20% deposit match. Why should you play on FanDuel NBA? Well, for one, it is easy to use when it comes to their app. What's not to love about that? But also, for example, they offer different and unique contests across sports in relation to your skill level. Oh yeah, and get this. You can play for big prizes, single game contests for the biggest national matches, and enter contests for as low as 5 cents. That's right. 5 cents. Simply incredible. So again, let's recap. Right now, FanDuel is offering up to a $500 bonus instantly when you make your first deposit with a 20% deposit match. Enter URL fanduel.com/roadtrippin to play now and get your deposit bonus. That's URL fanduel.com/roadtrippin so they know we sent you. FanDuel, more ways to win. Cheers. Cheers. Welcome to this. Oh, you got some coffee. Welcome to this edition of Road Trippin', presented by FanDuel. I'm your host, Allie Clifton, alongside Channing Frye, Richard Jefferson. And this episode today closes out the month of March, which, as we know, the month of March especially celebrates Women's International History Month. And I couldn't think of a better guest, guys, for this particular episode. Not only is she a stud on the court, 2-time gold medalist, 5-time All-Star, just competed in her 4th WNBA Finals, if I'm not mistaken, with the Las Vegas Aces in 2020. But who she is and what she stands for off the court, the change that she wishes to create, the action she takes to do just that. Angel McCoughtry is our guest, and we are so excited to have you.
Yeah, what up, Angel?
Wow, I'm like,
what's up, y'all?
Yeah, don't pay attention to us though.
Our guys need all of that, that rundown, and then they're like, "Oh, okay."
No, that's not true. That is not true. We are very aware. Angel, how are you doing? Good to see you again via
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Oh, our pleasure. Allie, jump it off. Allie, jump. So basically this is what happens. Me and Channing argue like 99% of the time, and then Allie tells us that this is about you. So we're just going to give you a heads up. And so Allie likes to start us off before me and him start arguing and just get completely sidetracked.
Well, there's a lot that we actually need to get into because
There we go.
Steer the ship. Steer the ship, girl.
But I first want to start with, because it is again March Madness. And did I just see that you're Louisville?
Go Cards. First of all, Allie, what would the guys do without you? First of all,
nothing. Like this. Yeah, like none of us even try and hide.
You notice both of us always have to work with a woman host because they're the only people that tell us to shut up. So it's like we work with some of the most powerful women in sports media because they're always like, all right, Channing and Richard, calm it down. And we're like, okay.
Balance too, right? Because we also need them to do their thing and be funny.
Yeah, they need the balance for sure.
Yeah, it's all about balance. All right, so there is so many topics that we got to jump into. There's a million that we need to discuss. So
do we not want to talk about
what?
Arizona? Are they still in it?
No, because Arizona, that's what I'm saying. Is Arizona still in it? Yeah, my girl Adia Barnes, she was there when I was there. She was the baller. She was the best player on campus. Her and Jason Terry when I was a freshman. So to see that excitement, and obviously Arizona's going to win the national championship. So I don't know why we're really discussing this. We probably need to get a deal on here so they can talk back and forth.
How do you feel about that?
Hey, we all got to cheer for our own team, so I get it, but I don't know. Louisville Cardinals, they're in there. Who you got, Channing?
I got Arizona. I went to Arizona. I'm from Arizona.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Yeah.
You're stuck with us.
We're just stuck, Allie.
Every single time.
Found it.
Okay, so shout out to Louisville, shout out to Arizona. I wish Toledo was in it, but they're not.
Ooh.
With that said, let's just dive right into it because you just became the first female investor in Players TV.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please elaborate? This is an awesome initiative. We actually like to say, I will say, from one perspective, Road Trippin became one of the very first, if not the very first, player-driven podcasts. So we take
Nice.
a lot of pride.
The first.
First.
So we take a lot
The
of pride in
first.
that. And you being the first female investor in Players TV, love it, love it, love it, love it.
Thank you. You know, it was one of the things where, you know, a lot of athletes are getting into content. Content is where it's at right now. And we see, of course, not trying to knock the guys, but we just do see a lot of male content. We want to just bring a little bit of more female content to it. So I was very interested. I'm like, I think this is a great move to get involved with Players TV, you know, because we all got a lot of stories to tell. And I think sometimes our stories don't get heard or they're not seen. Nobody knows what life is like overseas or things like that. So I was like, this is a good move to start getting more female content out there.
What is life like overseas?
It's a different world, but it's a fun world. You know, different language, different culture. And, you know, I don't know if you saw Love and Basketball, but you remember that scene when she's in Spain and they're like all cheering for her. He's like, give her the ball. But it's kind of similar. Like they treat us like we're superstars over there. Sold out crowds. They love it. So
my first full recognition. My first full recognition of how the game was treated in other countries is when I saw Diana Taurasi decide to sit out of the WNBA to focus on like her team. And I think they might have paid her more money. Mm-hmm. And there were some financials like, hey, look, we want you rested. So she was like, hey, I appreciate the WNBA. I appreciate what this platform is doing. But ultimately, I get an off season. And on top of that, I get an opportunity to like make more money than I would have if I played. And then all of a sudden I took a step back and was like, wait a second. Like this is real. And so, and I know I'm not lacking saying it wasn't serious, but that opened up my eyes to how the game is viewed over there. That's a big deal.
Yeah. Cause I would get my WNBA salary in 1 month over there. You know what I mean? So it's like, so it's like we playing. It was the pro and con of, okay, do I want to enjoy my summer? But this is a way for me to play in front of my family and friends. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So until they raised the salary a little bit, I was getting that 1 month, and it was just like, man, like, so that's when we started speaking up, like, hey, back home, can we get a little bit when we deserve? Because we do work hard. So that's where all the kind of fight started coming from, and we were just like, come on, y'all, like, back in our country, we want to come on.
Yeah, we got this.
Yeah.
Hey, do you think if there was more, I would say like media attention, like if the games were streamed, people would see, you know, like the excitement? I just don't think people see it enough. Like when you watch sometimes like the international men's game and people, they got the big flares and, you know, the crowd is into it. It doesn't matter if anybody on the team or not. It's like, damn, I want to watch. It's good basketball. And I feel like, over there, if you're getting paid like that, you must be putting a great product out there. Why wouldn't anybody want to see that? I would want to see that.
I mean, it was the same for us. We had bombs and flares on the game. They're throwing cell phones, and they just didn't care. They just enjoyed the art of you being a part of their team. You know what I mean? Or their country. And that's what it was about. It wasn't about, oh, women can't dunk, they can't do this. I'm just enjoying this game. We're gonna have a ball while we're here. We're enjoying the thing. So it was a different mentality.
Okay, and so, you know, we've had Shanae on here, and she helped negotiate the CBA. And this is one thing that I try and tell people. Don't compare women's salaries to men's salaries. I stand by that. Do not compare that. What you need to compare is the deal that the women have versus the deal that the men have. So we have, I think, is really close to like a 50-50 split. We have like, I want to say it's like 52% of BRI, which is basketball related income. That's the deal that we have. We, as far as NBA players, former players, for the 15 years that you played, you had a 50% deal. So like your contract was based off of like income in that range.
Right.
Exactly. The women's teams are the women's players. Your deal is nowhere near 50-50.
Exactly. And that was the problem, Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like, take me through how the CBA, how you guys kind of started fighting and not arguing, but like fighting for that 50-50. And what was the number and how did that number settle? Where I'm not exactly sure of where that number settled.
Where did the number settle? I can't remember, but it is much closer now. Because it was nowhere near the 50-50 split. It was a lot of things. You get pregnant, you don't get benefits. It was a lot of things that we were like, all right, some things got to change. You know, so we fought on a lot of that. The split is definitely a better margin now. I don't know exactly. I have to go back and look.
Yeah,
But it was a lot of things that were cleaned up, you know, that we're proud of. Of course, we know we still have a little ways to go, but we're proud of that, you know, that inch. We take every inch we can. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, yeah. And
take them all.
Yeah.
Tell me.
So, you know, I was in New York and the TMZ, they asked me about like the margin of things. And I was just like, you know, I wish I could get paid more in my country than overseas. That's all I said. Right? I mean, the backlash of negative comments. You guys will never get what the men make. You don't deserve millions. I didn't say anything about the men or comparing myself. You know what I mean? It's just like,
yeah. But that's the culture today, though. It's like if I say, hey, I think Damian Lillard's an all-star, I get 50 people on Twitter telling me I'm a clown because Jokic and LeBron and Embiid and Harden are right. So wait, how can I be a clown when y'all can't even agree? It's just, if it's not exactly what they think, then they're just going to try to like talk mad shit to you.
Yeah, and it's just like, I said, do you want somebody to go in your mom's job and say, don't give her a raise? She doesn't deserve it. Stay in the kitchen. You probably wouldn't like that for your mom. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, hello. But it's the world we live in, so it's one of them things.
Angel, did you see Draymond Green's comments on social media over the weekend by chance?
No, what happened? Draymond, Draymond.
No. And I think by this, and I think that it's great because this is why we have someone like yourself who has the willingness, who has the desire, who has the knowledge to put so much into motion and action for what is being fought for. You know, and to your point, being approached by TMZ and that comment spiraling into unnecessary, completely wrong thoughts and statements. And so Draymond approached Twitter over the weekend, and I encourage everyone to go look at the thread that's not a thread, but I still followed every single tweet of his. And he he made it very clear, I want to speak to the WNBA players. And I think that the intention and the intent, his passion is there. But I think it also showed that there needs to be more education. There needs to be more of these conversations. Like for Richard asking, what is the revenue now? People need to be educated on that, because right now it's as if people think that women are just fighting to just fight. And it's like, no, what we're asking for is what matters. And it's the equality for where it lies and where it's supposed to be. So are you looking at Draymond's tweets right now?
I'm looking at the tweets. There's a lot of tweets right now.
There's a lot of tweets.
Oh, listen.
But I think he got...
I'm like, where do I begin?
I know.
He started that.
Okay, like, what did he say actually? Just so I can kind of know, like, because I can't.
I actually have it pulled up as well because I was. So all my Lady Hoopers out there, I want to share some of my thoughts. And he named a handful of WNBA stars right now, following the next few tweets, please. So basically, I've been seeing a lot of talk about the pay gap between women and men, especially in sports. It's not even close. But let's stop allowing y'all complaints to fall on deaf ears due to numbers. As long as y'all make the argument about pay while the revenue stays the same, they will continue to point at the revenue not being high enough to cover bigger salaries. While that is true and damn near every business, how do we take that card out of their pockets? And so, you know, it's as if he wants to help. The passion is there. The thought is there. But the next several tweets is as if people felt he missed the mark. And so I feel like, Angel, like here you are, you're investing like I have this like long list of everything that you are doing, the initiatives that you're doing. And so it's like having these conversations. Why can't we talk to you about this? You know, how do you feel about?
And I think that before those tweets, you gotta talk to us a little bit. But I remember this funny thing, right? We're at 2016 Olympics in Rio. He's arguing playfully with Diana. It's kind of like a playful, kind of serious kind of thing. But it got serious when he said to Diana, he's like, holler at me when y'all get paid. Oh, and Diana went off. Diana went off like, hey, don't play.
Like I'm one of the greatest players to ever fucking play this game.
Yeah,
man.
We're playing, but don't play like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these guys, they know. You know what I mean? They know what to do. Say again?
Richard.
You just got stuck on me. What did you say?
AOL. That boy got that.
I know,
AOL
I got stuck.
dial.
I'm sorry.
But it's like things like they know, but even to joke like it, but do you really, really know? Have you really gone in depth to what we go through? What we feel? Women are having babies. They bring their babies to practice and like, do you really know? Come shadow for a week. I'll be happy, Draymond, to have you shadow for a week just to kind of see. I think like it's one of the things that the mind will be different. Like, wow, like I have a new respect. It's not just me watching them.
Well, okay. Can you? Okay, so I know you kind of talked for a half second. Take us back to this Draymond Diana Taurasi thing, because what I was trying to say before I got cut off is like Diana is one of the greatest players to ever pick up a basketball, men or women. It doesn't matter. Like
for sure.
At the end of the day, yeah, like without a doubt. Like Channing, she whooped Channing's ass in shooting contest, laughed at him. We already know the story. He lied about the numbers, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, take me back into what this story and how it got fired up real quickly. It's okay.
That part fired it up because it's kind of like, like that's a struggle in our lives.
Take us back, Angel. You got to take us back to like how it started and then like what she said, what he said.
I don't remember how it started. I remember I was there listening and I heard about how the money thing. Oh, and then Diana shut him down. She shut him down.
What'd she say?
I don't want to be like
no, because this is the thing. Draymond is an ally. His goal is an ally, and like maybe that moment was an education moment for him. Yeah. And so now he's online years later, 2 years later, whatever it is, trying to be a voice because he heard the passion in Diana's voice.
Oh, yeah.
He heard
it got
excitement.
Serious. Like,
yeah,
bro, like come on. How about us when they guard you when you're shooting a jump shot? You know what I'm saying? So we kind of had to go at him a little bit like, bro, don't do us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was just like that. Where that joke come from? So what we're going through, but you just making it a joke. You know what I mean? Yeah. I had a guy. I'm not even gonna say his name. When I was in college, he was one of our superstars of Louisville, and we were very close. And he came at me. He was like, "Yo, you the #1 draft pick, son. Like, you only getting $44,000." He's like, "I got that in my pocket right now." Oh. The same guy didn't call me when we made it to the Final Four. Okay, cool, gotcha. Always okay. About 10 years later, bro, can I borrow some money? Like I'm having a hard time.
You lying?
Okay. I swear to God. I swear to God. So it was just kind of like they know the struggle, but it's like, what is this kind of? I don't know this attitude
kind of posturing.
Yeah. So are you guys okay? You know what's going on? Are you helping the problem? Okay, put us in some of y'all commercials. If you can put your kids and your wives in the commercials, you can put us. Because people, it's like this. Whenever I meet somebody, they want to come to the game. They want to come support because they know who I am now. They're not going to come support when they don't know who you are. Most people know LeBron, but they don't know him personally, but they're going to come because they know who he is. If they know who we are, they will come. They have to know who we are, you know?
This is why
telling your guys' stories is super important.
Like the other day, they announced we have our first national commercial in over 10 years. Sinead's and the Postmates. Why is that the only commercial out? You know what I mean? Like the first commercial in 10 years for dumb people. Like, come on. So like these are the issues, you know.
To Channing's point, this is why we love doing Road Trippin because we have an opportunity to tell the stories, tell your stories, your background. I mean, we're gonna get into why you fell in love with having your own ice cream company.
Ooh, what kind?
But with that said, hold that thought really quick. You're also going to be the head of culture with Players TV. You're an ideas person. And so to your point, putting us in your commercials, my thing is what do you need from people that don't know and here's the thing is like, I'm not saying it's your responsibility because that's far gone. Like that shouldn't be the burden that you guys have to carry and shoulder. But now it's to the point where the conversations are being had and wanting to be had. So now what is that next step? What is it you wanted to see from Draymond Green in it?
I think do the research, ask the questions, get close with us, know, what it is. It is happening more like, with LeBron helping Renee Montgomery that's a big deal. Like to be the first. Huge. It's huge. That's what we need. Like we need that help. You know what I mean? Just be there. We look at them as our big brothers and we'll do anything for them. We just need y'all to help us just a little bit. Help us get out there, help us be in those commercials. I think just people need to know who we are. People love Lady Hoopers. They don't knock us. When they see like that girl can hoop, I don't watch her, but they just need to know who these girls are.
Well, and it's true because like when you talk about the support that you guys give the NBA, well, I see a ton of women hoopers wearing Kyrie's. I see a ton of women hoopers wearing Kobe's. I see a ton of women hoopers wearing Bronze and Jordans, right? And like other companies, but it's more of I don't know if New Balance has the quite reach. I don't know if New Balance has the reach in the WNBA yet, but the point is though, is like, when was the last time a woman's hooper had a signature shoe? That was a big conversation. But then it's like, but then you got companies like Puma and New Balance that are trying to enter into the market, and you're like, but like you can enter into the market with like there's superstars out there that would take a signature shoe, that would take a deal. And I understand. I remember Steph Curry. Famously, this little girl wrote him a letter, and it was like,
why did it have to come to that? Why did
it have to come to a little girl? And it's like Steph has, I believe, 2 daughters, right? Steph was like, you know what? Wow. And now he started women's basketball camps, and he started doing more and more. And so, look, even if you're talking about purely business, it's an untapped financial market that you could be making on. So let's turn this into. Yeah, and so, to your point, you have to support the people that are supporting you. So many people, and Kyrie has done a great job. He really, he spent, and gave a ton of money to women that were sitting out for social injustice, right, to help support, to support the cause. So a lot of players are doing it, but now that the ball is rolling, I think these conversations are more about keeping the momentum.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Let's keep the momentum going. Because it's big right now for all women's sports. Let's just keep it rolling, because people are enjoying it. They love it.
Women's colorways are the best anyways.
Yeah.
And women's colorways are the best.
The best. Dude.
Hey, by the way.
Dude, you can't.
By the way, I wore
new pink or purple. Put that joint in the 18.
I wore New Balance my first 2 years in college.
Okay, that's
New Balance.
Your toes must be mangled.
You got the New Balance were lit back in the day. They were.
Yeah, comfortable. I thought they were cool.
Yeah, walking shoes with jeans, Richard. Walking shoes.
Listen, at the end of the day, whatever's free, it's for you.
Free 90, right? True.
So, like, I don't want to hear you judging on style, right? Like, Channing Frye is the last person we're going to reference style from.
My no style is a style. It's a conscious effort to not have style.
Okay, so we're gonna pivot, not to a certain, or not a pivot, but I want to talk about this because last night, and it was 2 nights ago. Either way, I don't watch them because it's depressing. The men's soccer team did not make the Olympics. They did not. Yes, it's a very big deal. They did not make the Olympics, and I've always been a huge fan of the U.S. women's national soccer team. Megan Rapinoe, just like the whole crew of them. I actually went and watched them in the World Cup. I've seen them win the gold medal in the 2004 Olympics. Because they're one of the best teams in the world, so I enjoy it. But they've been in this fight also for equality on the men's side. And it's weird because it's kind of weirdly different in the sense that, like, yes, in the NBA is the bigger of the NBA and WNBA. Like, we're like, even though you guys when it comes to Olympics, you guys win it. The women's national soccer team is actually the best team in the world and has the best players, but they don't get as much money as the men, and the same opportunities are lost. Are you guys supporting each other? I know Megan has been a huge voice for the WNBA. Are you guys looking to support other athletes and other causes? Like, give me an example of something where, like, the WNBA and their voice has been able to use it. Just recently, you look at the NCAA and what was going on with the weight rooms.
They had y'all fucked up.
Something we support everybody when we feel like it's something that could be done to improve the NCAA situation. What was that? Like, what? Then
it's unreal.
They give
y'all some bands and a shake weight.
Like, what?
What are these joints?
Then you see lower test percentage for COVID tests, like all this stuff. We support women's soccer. We even supported politics. We helped Reverend Warnock. We done it all. You know what I mean?
Very instrumental in that.
So we don't, them girls here, we don't play. We go all for it. Yeah.
What goes through your mind when you do see the NCAA, when you see like the NCAA girls sticking up, using their platforms? How proud does that make you?
It makes me very proud because I know, when we play, you didn't really hear a lot of athletes really speaking up. It's just kind of like the NCAA made a rule. We just had to just deal with it. It was like, all right, NCAA rule. You know what I mean? But now the players are like, this ain't right and this ain't right. And this needs to change. Hey, I'm broke. I need some money. You know what I mean? So a lot of things, hopefully the players can get paid something. So I'm glad that they're speaking up like never before,
Yeah.
Yeah. And my biggest complaint is not, okay, there's layers inside the NCAA. Is what they did was a joke. But the thing that I want to make sure that women like yourself, now that you're in power, you have, women that are now governors, a part of WNBA teams. When women get in power, it's okay to look out for women, because what happens is in NCAA, they made it seem like there was 20 men that designed that weight room. There were women involved in that. There were women that were vice presidents, that were design people. There were women that were involved in that. So when you're in a position of power or control of say so, you have to step up and make sure that you are fighting for. Because a lot of times people get in power and they don't want to mess up their paycheck. They don't want to mess up their opportunity because they're still looking to move up the ranks and grow. But at the end of the day, if you're in power, then you have to at least make sure that there's a level of equality. So when I saw the weight room, I wasn't just mad at the NCAA. I didn't just find 10 nameless men. I just thought to myself, there were multiple women that are involved in the NCAA that are higher up on the board or a part of like executing this thing that has been going on for months that saw this and thought it was okay or didn't speak out. And that to me is the biggest problem.
That's a problem. Because if I was there, I would have been like, this is it? Oh no, sir. Let me call. Like, what?
Yeah.
No,
Well, my thing is
what's the
that
problem?
the
But people be like scared for
NCAA
their jobs. They'd be like, "Oh, I can't speak up." No,
No, because that the wrath that came down after, right? Because there's some women, and I'm gonna call out women right now. Like, be careful, but I'm gonna call out women right now. There were women that were like, I don't want to speak up, but then all of a sudden that wrath happened, and now there's women inside the NCAA that was a part of this that was like, I should have spoke up. Yeah. I should have said something before it turned into this media nightmare, and now we're being reactive instead of proactive.
And now you're embarrassed.
And now you're embarrassed.
Right. And that should be a lesson for them moving forward. Whatever this test where the men have stronger COVID tests or something, or it should never happen again.
Yeah, but at the end of
we
the
already
day,
got fed up with the NCAA anyway with some of the moves. So it's like, NCAA, you hang by a thread on this one. This one, needle in the haystack, because we're not having
it. They did the worst thing, and by worst thing meaning they put a big ass spotlight on everything that was wrong, right? When if they would have just made it equal, right, it would have been fine. But now all of a sudden everyone's going to check every single thing that they do, which they should.
They should.
But the NCAA's crooks, so it's not like they're basically like. But to me also, everyone donated that equipment. I would have said, every piece of equipment we get, the NCAA needs to pay for it.
Right? Yeah, so and they were donated by like,
have provided. We'll give it to you.
Dixon.
Yeah. Oh no.
Thank
you, but
go ahead, Angel.
Make the NCAA pay for this. It's their duty to do this and to provide this for the kids, right? And that's just like, yeah. If that's one of my daughters, I'm walking right up to the NCAA, punch them.
And this is where when I say that the NCAA are crooks. If Dick's Sporting Goods would have gone to the NCAA and said, hey, we'd like to give you guys all of the equipment for the women's weight room, they'd be like, that's going to cost you guys money. If you want to sponsor the women's, like that's going to cost you guys $250,000. This is what it is, and this equipment, and they would have done it. Right. And so that's why, and again, don't let these people fool you. Even Dick's Sporting Goods, I think Orange Theory, there are a bunch of different companies that saw an opportunity. They saw an opportunity to right a wrong. I'm not going to sit here and pat Dick's Sporting Goods on the back and say like, oh, well, no, you guys could have done this. You guys could have been proactive. You guys could have sponsored the women's programs. You guys could have sponsored, you know what I'm saying? But now they would have said the NCAA told us it was going to cost us $500,000 or $1 million to sponsor. We said no, so the NCAA did nothing for the women's, right? And so it's like, don't like.
They're using that as their platform now.
Yeah. Now Dick's is standing up there, is like, look, and we came and helped the women, and you're just like, that ain't the fucking truth. You guys saw an opportunity for free advertising, which should have been paid. should have been paid for. But the NCAA, if you didn't meet their dollar, they'd rather go nothing than, in their brain, we'd rather not do something than to devalue what we feel is our asset. We believe that this sponsorship and having a Dick's weight room is worth, $250,000 over the course of players' social media, players posting this in the weight room. That's what they view. And the NCAA was just like, no, we'll just wait. It's fucking sad.
What's your advice, Angel, to the current players, or just in terms of
the ladies, the college kids?
Yeah, to them.
Keep speaking up because times are changing. I mean, for God's sakes, the snacks weren't even equalized. At least equalize the snacks.
They gave them the baked lays, didn't they?
I didn't want to laugh, but okay. What did you say?
Gave them the baked lays. I'm gonna lose it. Them shits is disgusting.
Did you see the meals?
Yeah, no, tell us about the meals. What were the meals?
Festival meals. Them shits was trash.
I said I wouldn't feed those meals to my dog.
Yeah,
those meals were awful. And you talking about elite athletes, and then the breakfast imitation egg and this and that. What? Nah, son. You're not doing that no more.
And the NCAA is even different when you get to a spot where you say this. You're like, well, wait a minute. Well, okay, the women's don't draw as much, but yes, the difference between the NCAA, I got your back, Angel. The difference between the NCAA is all of that money, men's, women's, all the different sports go into a pool. They go into a pot. Yeah. So that pot then needs to be chopped evenly because that's what Title IX was about. Whatever the men get, the women get. That was an actual violation of Title IX. Yeah. That's where there needs to be a consumer group, even the WNBA. If your players association wanted to file a lawsuit versus the NCAA for breach of Title IX, you have all of the things that you guys need to win the lawsuit. And the lawsuit is not about money. It's about making sure that this never happens again, making sure someone's held accountable. So that to me is where the fight needs to happen. I think that there needs to be the WNBA Players Association needs to file a consumer lawsuit against the NCAA and say, now we need to have a representative to make sure that men's and women's are equal, because that's what Title IX is about. That's why there's billions of dollars made on the NCAA tournament, men and women's. Now, I understand that money goes and used to fund other sports, whether it's swimming or softball or volleyball. That's fair, but you still need, that means, and then this is what the big statement, it's okay if the men have less so that the women can have more, because it's about equality. Men don't need 10,000 square foot weight room. They can have a 7,000 square foot weight room so that the women can have a 6,000 square foot weight room. It's not about just like this random equality. So in my opinion, where you guys could really fucking dominate is to go, all right, NCAA, take on the NCAA. Right? I mean that respectfully, but I think this is an opportunity to make sure that these things don't ever happen again.
I'm loving that. Yeah, because they were trying.
Richard got good ideas sometimes.
Say again.
Richard has like one good idea every month.
No, I like that because you want to compare the revenue. I'm sure UConn and Louisville and like Arizona schools like that will make more than a Harvard or Abil Christian if you compare money wise. So I'm sure like the pots are there, the money wise.
Yeah.
So I
understand. I'm fighting. I'm passionate.
Yeah, I like that.
That shit bothered me. That shit, especially because everyone hides behind, right? You don't see. There was no press conference from the NCAA apologizing. There was nothing. They were just going to release a statement.
Well, do we really want an apology?
Yes.
It's a press conference or something.
Oh,
I want a press conference to who fucked up. We need a face to who fucked up.
So I agree with that. But
I want to see you so I know who to yell at.
I agree.
I want that to be an uncomfortable position for you. Instead, they were just like, we're so sorry. We thought it was adequate.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't feel like that was enough. That apology just made me feel like, why did I need that apology from you? Like,
sorry, I didn't know I couldn't do it. It's basically what they said.
Okay, I'm going to make a transition because it's also another big week for you, right, Angel? It's a multi-year endorsement.
Ooh, yeah.
Wait, do you have a lot going on? Because you're like, wait, which one is she going to pick? With Honey Senior?
Man. We're trying.
You're more than trying. So what is this about?
So yeah, just signed a multi-year deal with Honey Stinger. I don't know if you guys ever had a little honey.
Yes, the little
yeah.
what? I used to fuck those up. They were like, Channing, you got to play. You can't eat 4 of these. I was like,
They're
you
so
better
good.
shut the hell up and give me one.
Yeah, they're
I
so
haven't eaten
good.
all day for these.
Yeah, so they we just signed a deal, and then you know, to help with their initiatives. They want to do a lot of like initiatives off the court too, like give back. So you know, they really love what I did with Breonna Taylor, bringing Breonna Taylor on the jersey and stuff. So that was a big deal in me getting this deal. So I'm really excited about it.
Honey
That's
Stinger.
awesome.
Those red and yellow.
They
So
they have the little waffle cone
Scoop
things.
waffles.
Yeah, they're so good. I'm gonna have to
Yo.
see the box.
And yeah,
Ooh,
please, because I'll put them in my ice cream and make it feel like it's a
Ooh.
healthier snack.
Oh,
Don't
I
sleep
like
on the waffle cone. You take the waffle cone.
Cold
Yeah,
Stone Creamery, dog.
dude, I literally
Gotta
just
have
ordered it on
it.
post. Dude, this with the Cold Stone cream, but this is the thing. I don't get it in the cone. What I do is I get it separate from the waffle, and then I crack the waffle and then use it as a scooper. I'm a fat kid.
Ooh.
It's okay.
Hang on, you can't talk about Cold Stone when she owns her own ice cream company. And
What?
Channing,
Well, then tell
there's
us
one
about it.
in Atlanta, right?
Tell
Yeah,
us about.
back, and we had the waffle like the you know, like a real waffle. Like
Yeah.
fake waffle. Put it on top, make it a sandwich. People love it.
Ooh.
So
Okay,
city
so
is this in?
what's the name?
In
Tell us-
Atlanta.
give us all the details. I know it's in Atlanta.
it's called
It's
at
an
McCoughtry.
ATM?
At
It's
McCoughtry.
on IG still. So yeah, we're about to open probably again this summer. Getting
Yeah,
everything
oh, that's-
back organized. Yeah,
That's
you
awesome.
ever-
No,
you ever open it?
everyone had to close shit. It's okay.
I know. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
tough.
You
it
ever
was-
open it in at Louisville?
No, and I was in the process of doing that too, and everything has
Okay.
got held back from this stupid pandemic that we have to go through. But you know, everything's coming back. It's just coming.
Yeah.
So definitely would want to do Louisville and then Vegas since I'm planning now.
What else are you involved in that like everyone should know about? Because I'm very interested. You like Stroop waffles and ice cream. What else? you
Yeah,
got?
definitely wrote some scripts for TV show. Basically,
Ooh.
TV show about all the stuff that we just talked about. And it's kind of about this girl who's a superstar athlete, but nobody really cares. But she has this NBA player best friend, but he kind of is not really a star in the NBA. But he has $1 million house. Everybody wants his autograph. So it's a story around that. It's kind of like mocking. It's a dramatic comedy, kind of mocking like the stuff we go through. So when people watch, they're gonna be like, "Damn, they go through that," but they're still laughing at it a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's
Yes.
pretty much stories from my life and other girls' lives in this show. So I'm talking to networks about it now. So I got a couple interesting. Fingers crossed.
There we go. And you know what? You got your own TV company, or you got your own like with Players TV. So like
Yeah.
even then, just like you know, you guys
She has her own
got your own
entertainment
platform.
company too, Rich.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
She has her own entertainment company. They just want to
What doesn't she have it at this
I
point?
know.
But we're gonna start doing but this is what's the beautiful thing, and I love to see it with athletes, and we are now being given more of a lesson into women athletes that are doing the exact same thing as LeBron James or D Wade, and it's like no, like there are amazing people out there with amazing ideas. They just need opportunities. You guys tell me I'm gonna start getting mad and start ranting again and shit.
Yeah. Because the girls have a lot of ideas. It's just like, who can they go to? They just can't. They don't have the same connections. You know what I mean? They just can't walk on Netflix. And that's why I'm with players. I want to be able to change that dynamic. So when girls have these amazing ideas, oh, you need to hook up with Netflix, or you need to hook up with this. Okay, cool, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's.
We could go on and
Keep
on.
going.
I don't want to end this though without Richard on here, and he's going on the jump in 9 minutes. But I have to ask. I mean, the WNBA season is around the corner.
Yeah.
You guys were in the finals. How stoked are you? Pumped up? What are we thinking?
You know what? We got a good team. I know Liz, Karen Bays, Asia Rose, Chelsea Quan. I'm really excited to play with these girls. I think this is the year. Last year was like, I've been to the finals 4 times and never won. Who does that?
Don't feel
you
bad.
were Richard
I've
before
done
you.
that. I've done that. So I went to the national. I lost in the national championship game.
Oh yeah.
Then I lost in the Olympics, and then I lost in 2 NBA finals. Won with the Cavs, and then lost again. So I lost 3 out of 4.
Okay, so you do have a ring though, but you got a ring.
Yeah, but you got gold medals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We got.
Yeah, so I'm saying. No, I understand. I know.
Yeah.
I know, like in our country, like the hierarchy is like state championship, national championship, and like NBA championship.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
But it still hurt. You got gold medals.
Okay.
Angel,
She's like, okay.
What is your gap between finals appearances?
I'm saying like, that's a good question. I've never had that question before.
Because Richard, are you the longest player?
Yeah, 13 years. 13 years between final starts. I started my second year and then my 15th year.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I would say,
It's stressful.
No longer than 5. It's stressful.
Yeah.
That's stressful.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool. That's a good example. Like, kids, don't give up.
Don't give up. Yeah.
Right?
You know.
All he needed was his best friend just to play with him.
Yeah, Bron, I wouldn't call him my best friend. Oh, you're talking about yourself? My bad. I wouldn't call that.
Talking Richard off the ledge every series.
What I'm most excited about the world opening up, especially from a sports standpoint, and then I'm going to leave on this, is that I got such a great opportunity doing a bunch of NBA lives, our IG lives on SportsCenter, and I got to interview so many people, so many WNBA athletes. We've had Elaine on here, had Super. We've had so many people, including yourself, and so I'm excited to now get in front of you guys and be able to watch the games and actually show the support. Part of us reaching out for these interviews is because we want to tell the stories, but the other part of that story is then showing up and supporting. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to that, because there's like so many people that I've interviewed so many times over this pandemic, because we've been doing it all virtually, that like you feel like you know them and you've watched them so much. But now, to get an opportunity to go out there and show that, hey, these aren't just interviews. These are like, we're here to support. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nice. Thanks, Richard.
I got you, girl. I got you. Not Channing, shut the fuck up.
I got 3 daughters. Fuck. And all they want to do is watch basketball.
Thank you, Channing.
Thank you.
Don't thank Channing. No, that's not
it. I'm good.
Angel, you said
this is how it feels.
That's a great example of never give up. Well, you're an awesome example of putting in the work and taking action. And what's so crazy is that many people may know you as a WNBA star, what you do between the lines. But for over half this episode, we talked about all your initiatives, all your hard work off the floor. And in this day and age, it's needed, it's necessary, and it's incredible. So
thank you so much for having me.
Congrats on Players TV. Congrats on everything that is coming your way. Honey Stinger.
Honey Stingers.
Stinger.
Let's get it.
I've never had. I don't think I have any idea.
You've had them. You got to just look once. The minute you see the rapping, you've had it. So hey, tag us when you're doing some stuff. Tag Road Tripping when you're doing some stuff. Make sure we say this, like, whenever you're doing anything, I don't care what you're doing, tag Road Tripping, tag us. Like, you are family. Let us support you, because it's like, I only follow 69 people on Instagram, so I don't see a lot of things coming through. Be more mature, Channing, okay? So I don't follow a lot of people. So I only say that is like, sometimes the only way we see that is if like you're tagging us, letting us know. And it's not tagging, it's so we can show the support, right? Like Road Tripping, like us, like, hey, you guys see what they're doing? We can talk about it on the podcast with somebody else. So tag us, let us promote you guys, let us support anything that you do. Except for Channing.
I have more followers than Richard, so send it to me. Boom.
You have more followers for me, Channing.
Yeah. Vegas this summer.
Oh yeah.
Well, if it opens up, I got my first vaccine, so I'm in. I'm in. Give me any reason to go. But Channing's only going to have more followers for me till the end of this year. I'm literally creeping up on him.
Angel, I can't. Richard, you're going to be late to the jump.
I got to go.
Angel, you're amazing.
Okay.
Thank you so much. All right, I'll see y'all back.
Do you guys want to see? You guys want to see this? Watch this. I'm ready for the jump. Let's go.
I got to be suited and booted on NBA TV, man.
See how you do? All right.
Love you guys.
Out of here. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hey Road Trippin' fam, we are excited to let you know that Road Trippin' is proud to be presented by FanDuel. Never played NBA Daily Fantasy on FanDuel before? Well, check this out. Right now, FanDuel is offering up to a $500 bonus instantly when you make your first deposit with a 20% deposit match. Why should you play on FanDuel NBA. Well, for one, it is easy to use when it comes to their app. What's not to love about that? But also, for example, they offer different and unique contests across sports in relation to your skill level. Oh yeah, and get this, you can play for big prizes, single game contests for the biggest national matches, and enter contests for as low as 5 cents. That's right, 5 cents. Simply incredible. So again, let's recap. Right now, FanDuel is offering up to a $500 bonus instantly when you make your first deposit with a 20% deposit match. Enter URL fanduel.com/roadtrippin to play now and get your deposit bonus. That's URL fanduel.com/roadtrippin so they know we sent you. FanDuel, more ways to win.